Now, let's talk about what Carol was saying about the budget. Here is what Rand Paul recently said, number 44.
Yeah, I have offered a compromise, and the compromise I offered was in the form of an amendment recently, and I'd give them 3 months. And everybody says, oh, it's not long enough. Well, the whole purpose is to make them come back in 3 months and say, what have you done for the spending? Show me where you've cut spending. Because in 3 months' time, we'll be rolling up on the deadline, and they'll be presenting more spending again. So in 3 months, and 3 months is a lot of money, Stuart. It's $500 billion for 3 months. I'd do it for 3 months. I wouldn't default. I'd do it for 3 months, and I'd say, show me now what you have done. Because the history of this town is people making false promises. In fact, everybody in leadership on the Republican side is saying, oh, wait till after the 26 elections. We just need one more election. You remember when they said that about Obamacare? Elect us and we'll get rid of Obamacare. And they flailed away and never did it. It's the same way with spending cuts. They say wait till 2026 or 2027 and we'll have spending cuts. I'm not waiting, and I'm not voting for $5 trillion in debt to see if they will keep their promises.
Now, there is nothing that Rand Paul said that was not true. There's nothing that he said that is inaccurate. Article in the National Review, which is conservative, although they've been very critical of Trump. Headline, Trump's big, beautiful bill would add $2.4 trillion to the national debt, which right now exceeds $36 trillion and counting. Here's the problem, and this is one of the reasons I ran for president. I've talked to you about this before. Both parties spend money. They may have different priorities, but both parties spend money. The other big problem is that much of the government spending is on automatic pilot. By that, I'm talking about Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, the three so-called entitlements programs. And if you dare try to reform them, even responsibly, that is to say, nobody loses anything, nobody who's about ready to get on any of these entitlements programs within 10 years loses anything. But down the road, you alter how they operate so they can be fiscally sound. If any politician proposes that, the other side will accuse him of throwing Granny off the mountain. That you don't care about old people, you don't care about sick people, you don't care about the disabled, you don't care about women, you don't care about the elderly. That's what they will say. Which is why nothing ever happens. Barack Obama used the word unsustainable to describe the so-called entitlements programs. Bill Clinton used the word unsustainable to describe the so-called entitlement programs. Bill Clinton set up a commission to talk about how we can make Social Security sound going forward. The commission came back and said you can change the eligibility requirements, make people have to wait longer to get benefits. You can lower the benefits, or you can give people a greater rate of return for the amount of money that they take out and supposedly government holds for them when they turn 65 or 70 years old. Some people call that privatization or partial privatization. And George W. Bush spent some time proposing to allow younger workers in their 20s, 30s, 40s to put aside a portion of their Social Security contribution into an account that could get them greater rate of return. Money markets, Social Security, stock market. And Nancy Pelosi hammered him and accused him of trying to, quote, privatize Social Security, which of course is a four-letter word. And pretty soon, Republicans engaged in their favorite exercise, which is running for the hills. And they abandoned George W. Bush, and he abandoned the project. And Nancy Pelosi said that George W. Bush gave them an electoral victory, close quote, by even proposing such a scheme.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.